Warning: the following Tostado Section podcast contains explicit f***ing language. Listener discretion is advised.
New season of baseball, new season of the Tostado Section podcast. What better way to start it than with a dream guest, you could say? A three-time Eastern League Executive of the Year, you could say? The CEO of the Richmond Flying Squirrels for, 13 years? Does that sound about right, you could say? Now working in a senior advisor role, the owner of Richmond's most extensive wacky pants collection, the host of the Parney Time podcast, the man who only needs one name, Parney. At long last, welcome to the show, my friend.
Wow. Can you give a eulogy at my funeral?
Yeah, sure. Let me know. I had to give you the respect you deserve.
Joe T will have to tell you. I'm excited. that we have my sidekick, my consigliere, my partner in crime, Joe T. Joe, are you busy right now? Can you come say hi to the fellas? Joe T is getting our Parney Time podcast studio set up. He's currently working on an autographed Brandon Crawford Squirrels jersey. Here he is, guys.
Hey. Hell yeah, Joe T. Big round of applause for Joe T.
Well, Joe T, my kids snap.
Snaps. Oh, the snaps. Joe T.
Joe T, not many people know this. And Parney Time podcast viewers don't even know this. So this is breaking news.
Uh-oh. Joe
T's setting up in the Parney Time podcast headquarters. We got a big TV down here. We got a full bar. We got everything we need down here. It's like a bomb shelter. If Iran tries to get back at us, you guys come over to Parney Time headquarters, okay?
Yo, we'll be the first ones there. Are you kidding me?
but Joe T is a huge Richmond Spiders women's basketball fan.
Okay.
And he goes to all the games and he sits with his buddies. We're not going to tell you what I called them. but he sits with his buddies. And so we have the game on. So while we're doing this podcast, if you hear Joe T yelling, Maggie probably hit a 3 or something.
Oh, yeah, there she is right there.
All good.
Yeah, Joe T's hung out with World Series champions, Hall of Famers. He's going all goo gaga over Richmond girls basketball.
That's awesome.
Hey.
Joe T's busy charting shot selection.
Yeah. He's keeping score for sure.
Joe T said, "Are we good? Can I go back to work now?"
Yeah, you can go put him to work. So we got kind of life after squirrels a little bit for you, Parn Dog.
Yeah.
Haven't quite stepped fully away from the organization. Like I said in your intro, working kind of in an advisory capacity now. Obviously still doing the podcast, getting the studio set up. How's life been treating you? Kind of having a little more free time, a little more in command of your schedule day to day.
Well, it's funny because, when this, I went at it really hard, as you guys know, because you're such big Squirrels fans for a long time. And when people would say to me all the time, your lifestyle is not sustainable. And I'd be like, well, I've done it for 35 years so far, or 30 years or 25 years or whatever. But with all the pressure of what is now known as CarMax Park and getting that deal done or being a part of that deal, Joe T, the game started. And I don't know, it just hit me one day when I was in Sandbridge with our kids, and I was exhausted, distressed. I was probably 40 pounds heavier than I am now. My average blood pressure was like 190 over 110. And I was just like, I looked up at the sky at the beach, and I was like, you know what? I gotta do something. So Lou was great about it. And he set up this deal to be a senior advisor for 5 years. But I really, honestly, and you guys know, because when we set his podcast up, I sent you some texts about, I want to make sure that, Anthony and Megan and Ben Rothrock and Blaine and Trey and all the people, Sam McCloskey, all the people that are over there, busting their chops day in and day out to get CarMax Park ready. I just try to stay out of their way. They know that I'm here. They know that I love them. I really feel like it's a pretty cool situation. Not many people. Maggie just hit a 3. Joe T's about ready.
Joe T's losing it.
Yeah, Joe T. That's the first Tostado Joe T. Hell yeah! You got to take your Busch Light every time Joe T. says hell yeah.
Say no more.
Okay, there you go. Cheers. But not many people get to have a relationship with an owner where you can work out a situation where you're still involved, but I'm much healthier now. It's been great. Long story short, it's been great. I still have my toe in the water. But when I send people, I sent something to one of my old baseball buddies the other day. He's like, "So what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm working on the Parney Time podcast, trying to get professional hockey back to Richmond."
We'll talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. So
I started my book right now, tentatively titled "Live It." I'm working on Parney's Pub in the Diamond District. That'll be open, hopefully in 12 months, 15 months, something like that. Joe T is going to be the bouncer.
of course,
And Joe T, I'm forgetting one thing. I got like 5 things that I've been working on. I want to take the book and go on a national speakers tour because I really enjoy that. But it's great waking up at 4:30 in the morning like I always have, and kind of managing your own schedule, which I've never done in my life. And I'm obviously very happily married to Tanya, who's not home from work yet. She's a workaholic. So the roles are kind of reversed a little bit. One time she told me it's at 5:30. She's like, "I'll be coming home soon." So I made dinner, and then she got home at 8:30, and I was on the front porch going, "I did the laundry.
Oh my
vacuumed the
God.
house. I made the bed. I've been working my ass off for you today, and you couldn't even call me to tell me you're going to be late.
How'd that go over?
Your dinner's in the oven. It's warming up. I'm going to bed. You just really frustrate me."
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what
sure
she
she's
said?
never sat at home waiting for you to get home.
You know what she said?
Uh,
Go fuck yourself.
yeah, of course.
so
Sorry, are we allowed to do F-bombs on this show?
You do whatever. We would never censor you.
yeah.
Joe T, what do you say to that?
There we go.
So anyway, so sorry, Andy, you gave me one short question. I turned it into a 5-minute monologue, but not very often in people's lives do you get to kind of, really have time. Let me put it to you this way. If I was still the CEO of the Squirrels, number one, we wouldn't be doing this podcast right now.
Too busy.
Number two, I would not have had a front row seat to be able to watch the great work of Oppo and Megs and Benny and Lou. Lou deserves a lot of credit. And Sam McCoskey and Trey and the whole bunch of them. I feel like I'm sitting there in the front row watching my kids do something that's historic. And that's a real honor for me to do that. And so I probably I have a lot more time to appreciate what CarMax Park is. I didn't go over there a lot. I wanted to stay out of Benny's way because Benny was really the main guy on getting it done. And but when I did get over there recently, when the staff moved in, it was really special to see the work that they did. But it was also, I do a lot of reflecting, man. To make a long story short, it's just I see one part of the park. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that meeting. Or I remember when Ben and I talked about this, or I remember when so and so wanted this to happen from the city, and I almost jumped across the table and strangled them. So I'm really having a good time and enjoying it. And if I was the CEO of the Squirrels, I probably, I tell Lou all the time, and I tell Benny all the time, and I tell Brenda Porter all the time, and I tell Oppo all the time, make sure you enjoy it. And they look at me and they're like, dude, we don't have time.
We don't have time to enjoy it.
So I feel really grateful to Lou and to everybody that I'm in this position so that I can enjoy it, because it's historic. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys, like it's a historic time.
It is. We've talked a lot on here about how they're the hardest working group of people I know. I mean, just the hours alone. I mean, what time does Sam get to the office every day? Right?
There was one person back when I was a CEO. There was one person that would occasionally beat me to the office.
Yeah.
And that was my girl Sam.
Yeah. And what time does she leave? I mean, on a game day? You know,
I mean, that's one thing. Like a lot of times, people, and Joe T and I talk about this privately all the time. Like people don't understand the work and the sacrifice. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, I'm no longer the CEO, is because I miss my children's child. Like I missed it. Like, and I forget what show it was on, but I was on another show. Sorry guys, I cheated on you, but I was on another show, and it was CBS 6.
Oh yeah, they're our competitors. So
I think I've heard of it. We're cornering the same market.
Yeah. Tanya just got home. Hi, sweetheart. I'm doing a podcast with the Tostado boys.
Jackie just got home. Jackie, I do a podcast with Parney.
Al, do a podcast. Don't come up.
So anyway, what was I talking about before the women in our lives showed up? Joe T, what was I talking about? Joe T said, I'm watching the game.
Yeah, Joe T's busy.
Alone.
He's already sitting on his ass, and he's watching the game. He ain't doing shit to get the Party Time Studios ready. What a crop this is, man.
Joe T, we're on a deadline.
People are coming to me and be like, what time do you get to the ballpark? Like, the game's at 6:35, so do you show up at like 4?
No.
And I'm like, I'm like 6. I go, oh, that late? I'm like, no, a.m.
Yeah.
Right.
Get there at 6 a.m. So you guys are right. Like, and you guys are huge fans, and I appreciate the fact that y'all understand that it just doesn't happen by itself. But the Squirrels front office staff, they're so hardworking that if you work there and you're not hardworking, you fall off the wagon pretty quick.
And that's not just during the season. I mean, that's year round. That's 365.
I think one of the things I'm most proud of is when we got here, I arrived in Richmond on August 2nd, 2009. And, if you guys remember, you guys were here then, right? Yeah.
I moved here 2011.
Okay. And you were here. The whole thing that we kept talking about was we're going to be different. We're going to be different. We're going to be different. The 3 pillars of the Squirrels. We're going to be different every day. We're going to be fun every day. We're going to be impactful every day. Those are the 3 pillars. And, people, rightfully so, wanted to talk about the Braves because the Braves have been here for 42 years, and I never take anything away from the Braves. But look, we're just a different breed, man. Like, we just are. And I lost my train of thought again because Joe T started working. He says it's a commercial. Dude, you're freaking killing me, bro. This is why I wanted him to come over for this. And I knew it would be a show within the show, what Joe T was doing. But we started those three pillars, and with that came a different work ethic that everybody bought into as soon as they were like, we were pretty much a hodgepodge. Like, people came from different teams all across the country. Some of us knew each other, some of us didn't. And it was a really cool moment because people, Andy, if you remember this, when we named the team the Flying Squirrels, people thought we were freaking insane.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I was one of them. I was on the fence about the name the first time I heard it. Yeah.
So was my wife.
Yeah.
My wife told me that when she heard that it was the Flying Squirrels, she's like, what are these idiots doing? Let alone my in-laws, who still think I'm crazy. But, I remember doing a bunch of speeches, and I mean, we did probably in those days 200 speeches a year. And at the very, very beginning, I would talk about the name of the team, and there would always be one. There would always be one person that would wait for me to get off the stage. And I'm not profiling here, but like every time this person looked the same. They usually lived on the West End. They usually had silver or gray hair, and they usually had a whale belt or something like that, right? And they would say, that's embarrassing. Well, you're embarrassing our city. Like the Flying Squirrels, like you should have named the team the Giants or something like that. And I'm like, just give us a chance. And usually, depending on how I was feeling, I'd be like, do you have grandchildren? Do you have children? Because I guarantee you, I'm going to lock my eyes on you. And I guarantee you, come June or July, I'm going to be seeing you at the ballpark a lot because we're all about the reason we named the team the Flying Squirrels was because of young people, was because of kids. And, it's all back to that, getting to some of my Parney philosophies of minor league baseball. I've never seen an 8-year-old drive themselves to a ballpark, ever.
Yeah.
Because they can't, right? So that's the key to, and I always say with our girls, like our girls when they were growing up, they made me do things I would never in a million years do because that's what they wanted to do, right? So like that was the whole marketing philosophy. That was the whole marketing philosophy going into that, and it it's turned out great. But getting back to the original question, like it's really fun for me to sit back and think about when people didn't know who we were. I remember walking down the Richmond Christmas parade carrying a banner, and it was sleeting the very first year, 2009. And we had a banner that said Richmond Professional Baseball. And then like 3 years later, we were on the float. What's the main person on the parade called? Grand Marshal.
Oh, there you go.
Grand Marshal. We were the Grand Marshal. Like 2 years later, we were the Grand Marshal. So, people bought into it, but I think first we had to buy into it, right? And once we showed, because the night before we named the Flying Squirrels, Chuck Domino and I were sitting at Lulu's. Is Lulu still around?
Think so. Jackie worked there for a little bit.
Really?
Lulu's still around.
I'm pretty sure it is.
She said, yeah, somehow.
So we all somehow. Well, I know somehow because I moved out of there. I used to go there all the time back in the day. We all lived in Shockoe Bottom when we first got here, and I was sitting at Lulu's with Chuck Domino, and I was eating. We were both eating steaks, and it was the night before the announcement of the team name. And he's like, "What's wrong with you, dude? You're very quiet." I'm like, "Bro, we're getting ready to name a professional minor league baseball team, the fucking Flying Squirrels."
Right.
And he looked at me. He goes, "Yes, so?" And I'm like, "That's crazy, isn't it?" And he said, "What are the 3 pillars that you always talk about? Be different, be fun, be impactful."
Yep.
It's going to be all 3 of those things. And then he said something to me that I'll never forget. He's like, if we're going to do this, you have to be the one to be courageous because you're going to be the one that has all the TV cameras. And if people see you not believing it and not wholeheartedly being behind it, they're not going to follow us and they're not going to believe in us. So you have to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, you need to tell us right now. And I'm like, I totally believe in it. And then if you remember, Andy, I came out dressed as a flying squirrel at that press conference. I had black leotards on, with a mask on, and Lane Casadani, who I did not know at the time, and now we're great friends. He said, "Hey, before I interview you want to take the mask off?" I go, "Absolutely fucking not. I'm a flying squirrel.
This is what we do.
I'm a flying squirrel. What's your question?" So
Yeah.
but it's been the thing of my whole life. I mean, obviously I met Tanya here. Never would have known Joe T if I hadn't have come here. And Joe T and I, we'll have to wait for a bunch of people to die. But when we write our book, it'll make Butch and Sundance look like they were playing checkers.
This will be the director's cut of the book.
Right.
To the impactful part, I don't know, how broad you're thinking about that, but now, like, having a kind of wacky name is the norm, I feel like, in minor league ball.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we've been, and I always say we because, this organization was founded on us and we and not I and me. And it's always been a team. It was uncomfortable sometimes because I got a lot of the credit because I was the CEO or whatever. But I think we were one of the trendsetters of that, right? The Flying Squirrels. Like, I remember a couple years later, my buddy that went to Randolph-Macon, Brad Taylor, was down in El Paso. And he called me. He's like, "I need the whole playbook because we're going to name our team the Chihuahuas." I'm like, "That's hysterical.
It's great.
Freak, love it." The fact that they're in El Paso, it's even better, right? And then even Banana Ball, we had a little bit of influence on Banana Ball. Jesse Cole followed us way back, when he was 18, 19, 20 years old. So, but Jesse just has bigger balls than anybody, right? And he was willing to try anything, and he's been remarkably successful. But it's funny. A lot of the people to bring this whole thing back to circle historically, a lot of people that would question us would come up to me at games, come up to Ben Rothrock at games or whoever, and be like, "Well, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe in it, but now I can't think of it being any other name than the Flying Squirrels. And you know, and I'm so grateful to the fans, the way that we become a part of people's lives, because one of you guys said something about 12 months a year. That's how people work 12 months a year. I think that's probably the thing that we're most proud of, is that we're not a baseball team. We're a community entity. We're a
100%.
community. We're a community impact machine 12 months a year. And I mentioned Megs before. Like, she's ubiquitous, whatever the hell that means. But it sounded like a good word to use on this podcast, because you guys probably don't know what it means either. So,
Nope.
you know, I think that's the thing. You know, people that don't even come to Squirrels games will come up to us. How's that bush latte taste, by the way?
Oh, it's delicious. Thank you for the recommendation.
It's just so it tastes so good on the lips.
How's the nose? How are the legs on that?
Yeah.
Notes of
People that don't even really go to Squirrels games a lot, will come up to us and be like, "Oh, my son hates reading, but he read 8 books so he could come to a Squirrels game on reading night." You know, like, that's the thing we're most proud of, is, you know, the amount of people now that'll stop us. Joe T and I will be on a golf course, or you know, it takes me a while to go to the grocery store, because people are just great, and they'll stop. And you know, the pants became a thing about 2011. So people recognize me because of the pants. And, you know, the amount of people that want selfies, make sure you get the pants in there and stuff. It's just abnormal, right? This is not a normal minor league city. It's just not. Like it's just incredible. So I think we were the perfect group of people to come in after the divorce. And you know, the second relationship has been, you know, historic. And I think once, I mean, you guys have seen it, but once people really see the belly of CarMax Park,
yeah.
I think you guys will agree that the best is yet to come.
100%. And, you know, no disrespect to you, but I've said before, I think the biggest celebrity in Richmond by a country mile is Nutsy.
I'm still carrying the baby weight from Nutsy being born on February the 11th, 2011.
I mean, like, you put Nutsy in front of a group of kids, and it's like, you know, when the Beatles first came to America, they just lose their minds.
So two things. Number one, Joe T used to take Nutsy to bars to try to meet women.
Oh,
That's
my
hilarious.
God. Probably not a bad move, honestly.
And then one time, do y'all remember? I forget what year it was, but Mayor Jones had us do all these community events in all the different city council districts to talk about why we needed to have a new ballpark. And Tanya and I would go to them, and I call it the perp walk, because we would walk in and there'd be like TV cameras.
Yeah.
Well, I got home one night and I said, "Hey, I got an idea. The next time we have to go to those," because there was no reason to do those, right? Because we had to have a new ballpark, right? We had to. Right. And everybody wanted it. I think Mayor Jones just, I don't know, but anyhow, I'm like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get him. And we brought Nutsy with us on the perp walk. And they walked in and everybody went nuts. And Mayor Jones, who I was friends with, looked at me, he's like, "Yo, man, can't be bringing Nutsy. That's not even fair.
That's cheating."
Fair. You know, it was like bringing Elvis to a concert.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool. But look, like, people don't understand that either. Like, Nutsy and Natasha, they do like 650 appearances a year. Like, think about that. It's crazy. And, you know, people used to make fun of me in the office for this, but another Parneyism is, not to be confused with Hurdleisms, because Joe T's a big fan of Clint Hurdle, is to start at yes and go backwards from there. When people ask you to do something, your initial thought is, we're going to do it unless there's something catastrophic that doesn't allow you to do it. And starting at yes and going backwards from there is a way we built this organization. And because of that, you know, we've been really impactful. And it gets harder, you know, because sometimes, you know, one time a guy asked me to do a tractor pull on the infield. And we had just written a check for like $100,000 to do a new infield. So it was like, all right, I got to figure out some way that we can help this guy, but we can't have a tractor pull on the infield, right?
Yeah, I'm sure the grounds crew was really excited about that.
I never got to them. It just never got to.
Good. Evan, you want to talk about bringing hockey back to Richmond, perhaps?
Yeah. But I never lived. I'm a pretty big hockey fan. What's the idea here?
I told Tanya one time, I'd love for my tombstone on my funeral, or my tombstone on my grave, to say, help bring baseball and hockey back to Richmond. And she said, well, what the hell? What about loving husband and father? And I said, you could put that shit on the other side. But there's a lot of people involved, and I haven't talked to Lou about it in a long time, but Lou and I have talked about it a lot. There's some other people that have been involved in professional hockey in Richmond in the past from an ownership standpoint. I won't get into the names at this point yet today, but it's kind of the same situation, right? Like, we need a place to play. Like, I love the Coliseum. I don't know how you guys felt about the Coliseum, but I loved it. Like, I was
having nothing there.
Earlier today, I was with Tom Yeager, the old commissioner of the CAA, and man, we had some times at the old CAA conference tournaments in Richmond. Like,
yep.
I mean, he would have the commissioner's hospitality room, and I would go on Thursday to the hospitality room, and I would leave the hospitality room on Sunday night. Like I would literally stay there for like 4 days straight. So we had some really wonderful times there, and I thought I was a celebrity judge at the monster truck event at the Coliseum, which is
that was the last time I was at the Coliseum.
I was a celebrity judge there.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and it's one of my top 15 or 20 like favorite things I've ever done in my 36-year career. Right. So anyway, Henrico County is working on getting an arena now, but until that happens, this is all, but we've made a lot of phone calls. We've made a lot of contacts. I know that we can make it happen. Richmond's an amazing market. And like I tell the politicians, when we stood in front of the microphone as the Richmond Flying Squirrels, nobody knew us from Adam. So
right.
Like, I could understand the skepticism. But now if a Lou DiBella or a Parney or a whoever gets in front of a microphone and starts talking about professional hockey coming to Richmond, people are going to believe it, like, right away. And they're going to know that a certain brand is going to be here. Fans first, to use a Jesse Coleism, is going to be part of it. And, we'll see. But one of the things I've learned in my old age, and I've really been working on in my semi-retirement, is you can only control the controllables. And, through the ups and downs of the saga that lasted, some might say 20 years, right, about the new ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally a generation coming, like a generation has been born since a new ballpark. That's how historic CarMax Park is. And go, Joe T, that looks nice. Come here and show the boys. Oh, you don't like it? Joe T doesn't like it.
What?
Can you still show it to them though, so they see?
Left the court.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hey.
Well,
Look at that.
What don't you like about it?
oh, the sleep messed up. Kind of cockeyed.
Joe T's an entrepreneur. He's got like 7 jobs, and he's going to probably overtake the stock market anytime now. But anyway, hockey is one of the things that could potentially happen. I love the Richmond sports. Another thing that I'm really proud of, just personally, is that a lot of times people call me Richmond sports biggest cheerleader, and I love that. And whether it's the college teams, I'm pointing to the TV, or the Kickers, or NASCAR, or if it's Richmond sports, more than likely I'm going to be there, or I'm certainly going to be a part of it in some way, shape, or form, or we're certainly advocating for it. And I think that the Squirrels have done a lot to raise the sports scene here in Richmond, and nothing got my goat like people saying in the beginning, well, Richmond's not a sports town. And I was just like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe you. And I think all of us, the Kickers, VCU, Richmond, Virginia Union, Virginia State, like whoever, I don't mean to leave somebody out, Richmond Raceway, we've all, rising tide raises all ships. And we're constantly on the phone with each other. we're all great friends. We have happy hours together. We have we have events where we just get together and eat. But all these people have the same kind of lifestyles that the Sam McCloskeys and
Yeah.
if you I always tell young people who say that they want quote unquote, this is back in the old days when I had a job, they what do you want to be into? I want to sit in your seat. And I'm like, do you?
Yeah.
Do you? Because you're going to miss everything. Like you're going to miss everything. Like we work when people leisure. I'm pointing at
Yes.
you guys. When you guys are having a
we're well aware.
We're very aware. Yeah.
Sam's like, do you guys want to hang out? We're like, what are you talking about? We saw you at 2 games this week. She's like, yeah, that wasn't hanging out. That worked. Well, you guys had fun. I was like, okay, two.
Yeah. But that's the lifestyle. So what I say to kids is, working in minor league baseball, working in sports, it's not a job, it's not a career, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
like pretty much everything that's happened to me personally in my life is happened between October and March.
Mm-hmm.
I got married the first time, got divorced the first time, had all the kids during the winter, everything. Got married to Tanya on New Year's Eve 2022. Like, it was a banger, by the way, boys.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of pictures from some friends.
So it's truly is a lifestyle. And Joe T will even tell you from like his standpoint, working in the clubhouses for what was it, Joe? 36, 37, whatever it takes. 37 years, like it really overtakes your life. And sometimes that's not like for me, it got to be so much of an obsession that it was personally harmful to me, right? Like it was absolutely my drug, and that's why I tell people now I'm rehabilitated.
Not to take anything away from the other teams, because I don't know their numbers, but just look at the attendance of the Squirrels to say that Richmond is or isn't a sports city.
I just wait till this year. I think I always talk about what we did at the Diamond is like going to a sword fight with a butter knife.
Mm-hmm. That's a great analogy. Yeah.
Now, not only do we have a sword, it's a samurai sword. And wait till you see what they all are going to do. Like that video board.
Yes.
It's disgusting how cool it is. And just all the different experiences that people can have on a game day or a non-game day, at a concert, at a festival, at a wedding, at a bar mitzvah, like you name it. CarMax Park is going to be a destination year-round for people. And after doing what we did at the Diamond together, I can't wait to see what all the people that we've been talking about, can do for people, for many years to come. I mean, someday my funeral is going to be at CarMax Park. It's already in the will. Like my funeral will be at CarMax Park.
Richmond needs more venues, especially mid-sized venues. And now there's like multiple venue spaces at CarMax Park.
Yeah, that's the thing. When we were, talking to CarMax and when we were talking to other founding partners, one of the things we baseball's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about a place where people are going to come to over 200 times a year, most likely for something. Some days it might just be like Joe T's got the tape out. If he brings the lime and the shovels out, somebody call for 911. But there'll be some sort of something going on there all the time. And that's I'm just having so much fun watching Ben and Anthony and Megs and Sam and all the folks there. Because they're rising to the top, and it's really cool to see. But it's not a ballpark. One of the things we set the tone early is we call it, I'm sure you heard Sam say it, it's a venue. It's a facility. It's not a ballpark. We don't call it a ballpark, right. Because so much stuff's going to be going on.
Yeah, it's a venue with a baseball field.
Right.
Yeah, a gorgeous venue at that. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I can't wait for everybody to see it. And again, I'm so proud of everybody that's done so much hard work for it. And it's going to be amazing. And then if we can get the hockey here, in a couple of years, that'll That'll be really cool for the Richmond sports scene. Like I said, I had lunch with Rob Ucrop the other day. Joe T, that looks really nice.
Good job, Joe.
You like it better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Brandon Crawford, but Joe T's a perfectionist. That's the problem with Joe T.
That's why he's good at what he does.
Yeah, that's right. But it'll be exciting to see. I'm not sure when we're airing this, but it'll be exciting to see, how like VCU does in March Madness. Like, it's just, I think it's a really cool sports scene, and it's only going to get better as the facilities get better.
Of course, yeah.
So now we just need you to convince VCU to get a football team, and we're all set.
Well, Ed McLaughlin's a really good friend of ours, and Eddie Mack always says something to the nature of "over my dead body." So I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. We'll put a pin in that for now.
For him. Hey, they couldn't sell those undefeated VCU football undefeated since
Those were
1838.
I love those.
I
Those were
had one when I
great.
was a freshman for sure.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. There's a couple stories while we were just doing some background research,
All right.
and I don't know how much you want to go into it, if you even remember all the details of it.
I
Evan,
might need you for this. Apparently,
you ask him about the one you sent me.
Yeah, did the words "awful day" ring a bell to you?
awful night. Yeah.
What about giveaway that I feel got the kibosh at some point with a
When I
maybe
tried to get my gallbladder away.
That's the one.
Chuck Greenberg and I were sitting in my office after a game, and in Altoona, my office was on the second floor and the clubhouse was on the basement. And what was hilarious about that was, as soon as the game was over, because I've had a perpetual amount of Bud Light in my office at all times, no matter where I worked. And as soon as the game was over, I would do what you guys saw. I would be at the front gate, and all that. And I'd lock back in those days, I'd lock the stadium myself. And then I'd go to my office. And by the time I got back in my office, probably any given night, 8 to 18 Altoona Curb players would be in my office.
sounds about right.
Sitting there in their game pants, no jerseys, and their shower shoes, drinking Bud Lights like they were never going to drink Bud Light ever again, right? So one night, Chuck Greenberg was our owner, and we're sitting there with the guys, and we're just talking about how we're going to be great. And, we got to get more fans, and blah 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 blah. And somebody said, "Man, you guys are exhausting. You're just trying to be great all the time. Why don't you have a night where you're just fucking terrible?" And we were like, "We need to be awful." So instead of putting players' batting averages on the scoreboard, we put their fail average.
Oh,
So instead of 300, it was 700.
that's really good.
Instead of RBIs, we put up the errors.
Right.
Wow.
We misspelled their name. We mispronounced their name. We did everything terrible. Now, the way the story goes for this is Tony Beasley was our manager that year, one of my dearest friends in the world, one of the greatest guys I've ever met in my life, currently the third base coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He lives up the road here in Caroline County in the offseason.
Okay.
And B's the most Christian man I've ever met in baseball. I mean, he's a God.
That is saying something.
Yeah, he's a God-fearing man. And we had everybody do these things where they would say, "Oh, man, that's awful. That's awful." So the players, we did them on the video board. Well, I forget who was pitching, but whoever it was in the ninth inning gave up a 2-run bomb, and the other team took the lead. And our video guy wasn't thinking right, and he put our manager of the team on the video board going, "Oh, man, that's awful."
Wow.
And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, no, that's awful."
It's very
But also kind of great.
And so I had to talk to Bees. Bees is the coolest guy ever. But then I had to get with the pitcher. It was just a thing. But they still do Awful Night in Altoona to this day.
Wow.
They still do it, and it's just fun. Like, people take themselves too seriously a lot of times, right? And that's hopefully that's something that minor league baseball will never lose. There's a lot of big money in it now, and there's a lot of corporate types that are buying minor league baseball teams. Diamond Baseball holding now owns 50 teams or 45 teams.
Yeah.
And I hope that the people that are operating the teams never lose that, that edgy. Who's that? Oh, Carl. Joe T just pointed out that a Parney Time guest is on television now. That would be Carl Ravage. Joe T always thinking about Parney Time.
Always able to get a plug in.
The kind of silliness, the edginess. I mean, that's part of the draw.
We also did a salute to smell night in Altoona.
Okay, what's that?
Anything that stinks. We had it on. We had a bunch of tables, and the whole concourse stunk to high heavens.
Oh, smart.
We had Lindbergh cheese. We had the worst smelling tarp shoes that you would ever want to smell from a long time, and like groundskeeper, like anything that could smell, and everything just stunk. It was just a salute to steak. And then 2011 or 12, remember Joe T when we did the salute to Wiener, when Anthony Weiner was the governor of New York?
Yeah,
and he was taking
pictures. Yep,
pictures. So we were sitting,
appropriately named pictures.
We were sitting at Parney's pub. Joe T, what's the Parney pub side? We were sitting in Parney's pub.
Look at that.
Jacob Hayward and Frankie Tostado gave this to me.
You know how many times we talked to him about Parney's pub and he never said that?
Really?
Yeah.
Caitlin will tell us.
Sitting in Parney's pub one night, and I was doing paperwork because I would always do paperwork after the games. Joe T was across the way doing his laundry, and this Anthony Weiner story came up, and I stopped, and the staff was sitting around me. I'm like, somebody tell me what's going on here. They're like, oh, well, he's taking pictures of, and I'm like, well, we should do that. They were like, wait, what?
What's that?
Hold up.
We should have dollar hot dog night and ask the fans to take selfies with the hot dogs.
Oh my God.
And then put them on social media, because social media was just starting.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it was borderline. But that's what we did. We did borderline shit. Right.
Yeah.
And so the next day I get to work and I put TV on. It was when Greeny and Greeny and Golick had the morning show on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned the TV on, and I'm in Richmond, Virginia, guys. And Mike Golick, and what's Greeny's first name? Mike Greenberg. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
NFL on ESPN.
Yeah.
They were arguing about the Richmond Flying Squirrels promotion on national television.
Hey, that's good marketing right there.
And Golick loved it, and Greeny hated it. And
Perfect.
somebody called me and said, hey, are you watching ESPN? And I'm like, yeah, I'm watching it. And they said, are you upset about it? I'm like, they're talking about our team on national television. No, I'm not upset about it. Joe T's not happy. He just did one of these to the television set.
Joe T.
Joe T.
I don't have a Joe T. I'll give me 10 seconds. I need to get another beverage from my refrigerator.
You hear what he just said? He goes, I don't have a Joe T. I got to get my own drink.
The next thing I was going to ask, do you remember a guy named Tim Watts that got a one-day contract with the Squirrels in 2019?
I remember that, actually.
All right, cool. Never mind.
It was part of a baseball card promotion.
Let me tee this up. 2018 Topps Heritage had a redemption card that would grant you a one-day contract with the Richmond Flying Squirrels, your own baseball card in the pro debut, which is the minor league baseball card set the following year. Sure enough, here's this guy, Tim Watt, who has
Remember
a card.
that, Joe T? Yeah,
Who has a card on eBay in a Squirrels jersey at the diamond with his bat back.
Yeah. Didn't you have a locker for him and everything? Joe T had a locker for him with his name on the locker thing.
Was it completely random? Was it Topps' idea? Was it your idea? And what did you do for the guy?
It was a national promotion, and then I don't honestly recall how. It was probably because he was from the region or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But once we found out, that was the whole mentality back in the day. Once we found out that it was going to be us, we were like, how are we going to make this the best thing? Like, this literally has to be the best day of this guy's life. And Joe T, I'm not just saying this because he's here, but he did a great job of welcoming the clubhouse. I remember, didn't he have a son, Joe? He had some younger people with him. And I remember when they walked out at the end of the night, I think they even maybe had beers with us in Parney's Pub after the game.
That doesn't sound believable.
And they were like, this is going to be a hard day to top. And that wraps up the Richmond Flying Squirrels in a nutshell. Like, when we're given an opportunity to make a memory, because we're not in the baseball business, we're not in the entertainment business, we're in the memory making business. And that's the business we're in. And we do it even when we don't think we're doing it.
Hey, you're doing it right now, Parney.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're doing it right now.
Had I known that in 2018 all I had to do was buy a shitload of boxes of Topps Heritage, and I could have one day been a Flying Squirrel myself.
Yeah, it was a cool promotion, but it's been cool how many times we've been on the national. They're chosen for something like that, right? And
Yep.
I think that's Richmond's a special place full of special people doing special things, and the Flying Squirrels have been very fortunate to be a part of that, but also to perpetuate that on a national scale. Like there's a lot of times when Joe T, why are you taking a picture of the television right now? Or are you taking a picture of me? Joe T's taking a picture of me doing your podcast, guys. Hold on.
Oh yeah, Joe T.
It's amazing he knows how to take a picture.
Hey, he's an entrepreneur.
He's a
At
perfectionist.
all.
Joe T said we were just talking about pictures not too long ago. So one of the things I've always wanted to do, but I've never had the time, is always want to do a podcast. Never had time to do that. Anthony Opperman and I did one during COVID. I think might even be named Parney Time, but I forgot that when I named this one Parney Time. But so that wasn't on purpose. And that was fun because I love Anthony Opperman. Like he and I have a really good relationship, and I'm really proud of everything he's doing. I mean, when I told Lou that I wanted to step down, he said to me, "Well, who do you think could come in and be a face of the franchise?" And within seconds, I said, "I can't think of many, but Anthony Opperman is at the top of the list." And to Lou's credit, he went out and got him. And obviously, Megs plays a big role in that on the field now with the Squirrels too. So I started Pine Top Podcast. We're entering season 3, and we've had really great guests. Will Clark was our very first guest. And we did a story. I'm sure you guys have seen it. He told a story about Ricky Henderson that's gotten almost 7 million hits on views on Instagram.
Nice.
And we're working on season 3 right now. Joe T's a big part of the show. Michael Phillips and Cheats, Mark Cheatham.
Cheats is our guy. He's our guy.
Cheats they don't make them any better than Cheats.
Certainly not.
And we just started working on, and this is actually breaking news. Like some of the guests for season 3, Kenny Anderson, former NBA number 2 draft in the NBA from Georgia Tech, who's you're not on the show no matter how famous you are if we don't have a personal relationship with you and we can talk about relationships, because relationships is the reason we're all here. Right. It's the
Absolutely.
reason that we all love the Flying Squirrels and what they've done for Richmond. It's all about the relationships. And I met Kenny during the NBA All-Star break at Atlantis like 20 some years ago.
Bahamas?
The resort?
In the Bahamas. Yeah. So he's going to be on the show. Eddie George is going to be on the show.
Wow.
Joe Nathan, former Squirrel for 3 weeks. Joe Nathan came to our wedding, and Joe T, wouldn't you say Joe Nathan was one of the MVPs of the wedding? Yeah, Joe Nathan went up to the bar and ordered 28 shots of tequila at one time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Joe Nathan, and so somebody said to me after the wedding, they're like, "Yeah, you and Joe Nathan are tight. That's awesome. How long did he play for the Squirrels?" I went 3 weeks. Anyway, wait. You guys are that close, and he only played for you guys for 3 weeks? I'm like, it doesn't take long to establish a lifetime relationship. Kevin Nash is going to be on the show, WWE Hall of Famer. Nash is him and Scotty Hall. They were
in the New World Order.
Yeah, they're NWO. That's right. Kenta Colby, Bruce Bochy, Bob Kendricks, the executive director of the Negro League Museum in Kansas City. Talked to my and Joe T's mutual friend, Lee Smith, the Hall of Famer Lee Smith.
Yeah.
Had Billy Wagner on last year.
Yeah.
In our first 2 seasons of Party Time Podcast, half of our guests were Hall of Famers in their sport.
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh?
Not
Pretty
bad.
good way to
And we
start
got
off.
work to do.
So one of the things I'm learning about podcasts is like the content is really what matters. You're never, when you're starting, and I don't know if you guys feel this way, but not enough people are going to listen to it no matter who you are.
Of course.
like Pat McAfee didn't have shit. People didn't listen to Pat McAfee in the beginning, right?
Right.
And anybody that's really successful, I'm sure Joe Rogan had his days when nobody listened, nobody downloaded him. So we have a lot of fun doing it. It was a tight knit group with Joe T and the Parney Pub Clubbers, and we're looking forward to pushing that. And then the book, I'm just in the beginning. We're just in the beginning of starting that. But these are all things that I would never have had time to do if I was still the CEO of the Squirrels. And my health is a lot better. Like I got to be honest with you guys. Like I love it every day when people stop me and go, "Man, you look healthy,"
Yeah.
because I did not look healthy. Back in the day when Joe T and I were getting 2 hours of sleep a night, we thought that was too much. So,
Yeah.
So it's really been. I'm very grateful for the life that we have. I'm very grateful, to still be involved in the Squirrels as little or as much as I am, and I'm grateful for all these other projects. And Tanya and I also own the Seventh Inning Stretch, which is a beach house in Sandbridge, Virginia. And yes, we were the only homeowners in Sandbridge that has their own swag for their beach.
Oh, we need to get to the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah, dude.
I tell you what, Joe T and I will now offer you guys the opportunity to come do your podcast from the 7th inning stretch sometime.
Parney, don't kid around because
Yeah. You think I won't get my car right now? Start prepping.
I made the offer, right, Joe T? You heard it.
let's bring cheats too.
Chief, we're actually going to have a Parney Pub Club Joe T outing at the 7th inning stretch sometime where we're going to bring the wives down and just have a really good weekend, because those guys for no money have offered, they've given us a lot of time to try to get this, and MP has me on his show on the radio every week, and
Yep.
Cheats is a constant support in every single way possible. So
Same. I mean, he's been great for us. So
yeah, he's just. Well, my dad died in August of 22. Joe T was there the whole weekend for the funeral services, but the funeral director walked in and handed me an envelope, and inside the envelope was a letter from Senator Kane. And what I loved about it was I knew it was Cheats, right? I knew Cheats did it. Number one, that's the first thing I loved about it. It was very thoughtful. The second thing about it is my dad was a Bible-believing, evangelical, Christian, Republican, and if he would have known that the Democratic senator from Virginia sent him a sympathy letter,
Right.
and then LeVar walked into the funeral right after I opened the letter. I'm like, man, the Dems are coming out today. How's the game going, Joseph?
it's halftime. It's fine.
Joe T doesn't think they're playing well. They're only down by 2, guys.
That's not bad. It's not bad. We actually have a surprise for you.
Okay. Joe T wasn't big enough of a surprise? Joe T wants to see the surprise.
You're not gonna be able to see it. You might have to hear it. Right before we recorded, I got a text message from one guy. You may have heard of him. His name's Frankie Tostado. And we let him know that we were talking to you tonight. So he sent us.
What's going on, Parney? Just wanted to say, I miss you over here. Hope you guys have a good season. I know the new ballpark's looking pretty sweet. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hoping the Parney's Pub is going strong as well. Good luck this year. Miss you.
Joe T will agree with me. Joe T, get in the shot. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
That right there, it's not about the sellouts. It's not about the money. He hasn't played here in 4 years.
Yep.
The amount of players that came to mind, Tanya's wedding. Frankie flew cross country.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember.
One of my favorite moments from our wedding is thank God, Joe. We had a no shot rule till 9:00. And my mother-in-law, Tanya's mom, only has one drink at every family function, but we make it a shot, right? And so we brought Tanya's mom on stage, and I had the microphone to open up the show. You remember this? Or you already passed out?
Nah.
He broke the no shots rule.
Joe T was the ring bearer.
Oh my God.
He was no, seriously, he was our ring bearer at our wedding. And he came up to the theme of The Godfather.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
With a suitcase, and it had the ring in it. Anyhow, I looked out into the crowd, and the person I saw out of 425 people was Frankie Tostado. And on our wedding video, it has me saying, and Frankie Tostado, the shot bar is now open.
Wow.
And the whole wedding party did a shot. But Frankie
Incredible.
made it to the wedding video because he's the person I saw. But that's what it's all about. The fact that, and I got a text message from Shane Matheny. I didn't tell you this yet, 2 nights ago. And it said, hey, if you get a call from a fire department in Washington, I put you down as a reference. That is why I did what I did. And that's what we did, what we do. And the relationship with the players, Joe,
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's second to none. Tanya and I were at Simon Whiteman's wedding in December.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
we love Simon.
Soon as we got there in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Will Wilson was there, another one of my favorites. And Simon's mom and dad came running over to me and Tanya and like, we're so excited that you guys made it, because when Simon was in Richmond, we knew he was going to be okay, because we knew that you guys, particularly this guy behind me, was going to take care of him. So that's what it's all about. That's what makes it special. And that's what makes life special. Like, I don't understand people that aren't kind, people that aren't, aren't thoughtful about others, don't put others before themselves, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, what are people going to say about you when you were gone? And if you can help people in any way, shape, or form every single day. One of the things we talk about in the book's called Live It. And you got to live every day like it might be your last. Like today, I'm giving it away when we tape this, so I hope that doesn't mess up your podcast.
No,
but
you're good.
today's the only March 18th, 2026 we're ever going to get in our life. How are you going to live it? Are you going to live it with love? Are you going to live it with intentionality? Are you going to live it with victory? You're going to live it for everybody. You're going to live it with interesting moments. And you're going to live it with togetherness. That's the live it for me today. And every single day I do a LIVEIT every single day. And they're all different, because you got to live every day differently, because again, might be your last one.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I just gave you guys the best damn finish of all time.
You sure did.
You know, make sure you patronize, your listeners patronize the Squirrels. I love them with all my heart.
They will. They are.
And keep an eye out on the hockey situation. Parney's Pub, whenever that opens, make sure you come. Make sure
There'll be two bar seats with our names on it when that happens.
Joe, make sure Joe T's working hard at Parney's Pub.
Checking the angle of the jerseys on the wall.
And the last thing I'll say, just keep loving each other, man. Like we're living in an awesome situation here in Richmond now, and it didn't just happen. It was a long time coming, and I'm just very grateful to play a small role in it. And I love every day. And I'm just very grateful to Lou and everybody for being in the situation I'm in right now. Not everybody gets to do it like this.
Absolutely. Well, Parney, thank you so much for doing the pod. Like I said up top, a true dream guest has finally, we can check it out.
Hear that, Josie?
Dream guest.
Dream guest.
Check.
Oh, did you hear that? Josie said sorry. He's on his way. I got some entrepreneur stuff going on.
Yeah.
He's a busy man.
He's probably ordering our pizza. Thank you for being such big fans. Not of just Frankie, but I know you're very close to Sam, and she's like my work daughter.
Yep.
And you guys play a big role in the Squirrels too. So thank you for what you do for the Squirrels and what you do for the city of Richmond.
Well, that means a lot.
Knock anything over. Hell yeah.
Before we go,
Yeah.
you guys want to see some of the jerseys we're putting up real quick?
Are you kidding me,
Yeah.
Parney? We don't have anywhere to be. Like,
Yeah.
I know this is the longest show of all time, but this is a Flying Squirrels golf flag.
Love it.
incredible.
What we got here, Joe T? This is a Altoona Curve jersey signed by Jerome Bettis.
Wow.
Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bettis is one of my really, really good friends.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
David Justice?
2016, JB threw the first pitch on opening night for the Squirrels.
David
Justice, of course.
David Justice. This is the previously mentioned Joe Nathan.
Yep.
Gorgeous. Look at that.
He wrote,
Very-
Parney, the best experience in baseball. Thank you for everything. Go nuts. Love
High
the
praise. High praise.
Joe T's sorting through it. We had 52 jerseys that players had signed for us through the years. And
God, Joe T's got a lot of work to do.
How many we put up? 8? We had to put 8 up. So we had to go through a screening process.
Good guy right there.
Priorities.
This is one of Joe T's favorites. Remember Tommy Joseph?
Tommy Joseph. I don't remember Tommy Joseph.
Tommy Joseph was traded to the Phillies for 100 pence in 2012.
I remember the 100 pence deal. I'm a big
Here,
Phillies guy.
here in Richmond, we put Joe T put all his shit in a shopping cart that we stole from one of the grocery stores, and we rolled him down to the other, and then we put it on social media, and it said Tommy Joseph switching teams.
Oh my God.
See this one?
Will the
Evan's
thrill?
favorite baseball player of all time.
Yep.
It says Matt Cain signed it. Perfect game. PG 4/13/12. I'm running out of the room here, Joe T.
Well, we're gonna save that for last.
Lion Bogle song. Oh, this is one of the best degenerates of all time.
One of the best
degenerates.
degenerates of all time, Mr. Klein.
Steve Klein. That's Lee Smith. The Hall of Famer Lee Smith.
Yep.
He signed the front.
You're gonna need a lot more frames in the Parney Time Podcast studios.
This is so I don't know how you guys feel about this guy, but this is
That's my favorite.
Dennis Pelfrey's Richmond jersey. We've had a lot of great managers in Richmond. But
We love Pelt. Like it's hard to overstate what a cheerleader for us he's been. He was our first interview last season, and we're gonna talk to him at lead up to this season. So
he's the best that ever did it. He gets what the front office has to do. He gets what he's got to do. He's the best. So he's going to go on the wall too.
every player we've talked to has said the same thing.
Yeah.
Best man.
Because that's the thing. In minor league baseball, Joe T's probably going to pipe in here. You have some people who take the company line, so they coddle to the first round draft picks and that kind of stuff. Health loves every player on his roster, whether they're there for a day or they're there for 2 years. Like, right, Joe T?
Hell yeah.
So
yeah.
I can't believe I told Benny Rothroyd the other day, like, we're so fortunate to have him back for the first year in CarMax Park, because Anthony and Ben, they don't have to train a new manager, right? Like there's going to be a lot going on at CarMax Park, and those guys have a guy who not only has been through it with them before, but he gets it better than any manager. And we've had a lot of great managers, but Pelf gets the business side, he gets the promotional side, he gets all of it. And certainly he gets the baseball side. He won't be in the minor leagues very much longer, in my opinion.
He told us that his job is to make the players the best players and people they can be.
Yeah, and he does that.
Absolutely.
He does that. He's a very, very, very dear. He's another guy that flew in for our wedding.
Yeah.
Like he's a dear friend. And again, we'll close it this way. The relationships, that's what matters. That's what matters. And we've been blessed to have a lot of great relationships, and they'll continue. And we talk about them on the Parney Time podcast all the time.
Which we'll of course link. So thank you, Parney. Thank you, Joe T. Jerseys are looking great.
Oh wait,
Hell yeah.
we got the Brandon Crawford jersey up.
There it is. It's up.
That's a big hell yeah from me. All right, Parney. All right, Joe. Thank you guys again.
Thank you guys.
We'll talk to you
Enjoy it.
soon.